What is up, everybody? It is Wick here. Got another what sold video. Going to show you a bunch of items that I've sold in the past 2 or 3 weeks. It's that time of year, fourth quarter, where there's a lot of sales. These are all things you can look for at thrift stores, rummage sales, garage sales. Pick them up at a good deal and they're selling. If you do enjoy this type of video, don't forget to hit the like button for me. Check and make sure you're subscribed. But let's jump into it. Here is a nice flip. I got this Tandy computer with some games and controllers. At Goodwill, I paid $40 for it. This was probably about 8 years ago now I found this. However, I didn't list it until about 5 months ago. Being a bit of a video game collector, I just held on to it for a while. And then one day I realized, you know what? I have no connection to the Tandy computer. And it's worth quite a bit of money, so I should just sell it. So I did. I sold it for $530 plus shipping. So made some incredible profit on it. Looks like it's leaving the country in international order, but just a great flip overall. Here's a nice flip. This Dale Earnhardt vintage all over print championship t-shirt. Got this at Goodwill for $2.99. Sold it for $50 plus shipping, and it took about a month to sell is all. Here's a Trump the Game. It's vintage. Got this at a rummage sale for 50 cents. Sold it for $40 plus shipping, and it took about a month and a half to sell. Here's this Jimmy Light Up and Talking Insane Clown blow mold head. This was a local buy. I paid, I think, about $25 for. Ended up selling it for $60 plus shipping. It is listed for about 2 years. When I was going through my listings, I noticed that the shipping was set way too high for this. Now, sometimes you just make mistakes, so I adjusted that, lowered the price a little bit, and it sold within a day. I'm happy to see this big thing go. Here's this Motionettes, which I got this at a Goodwill. It just come out on a cart, paid $6 for it. Sold it for $50 plus shipping. Only took about 3 days to sell, and I priced it to sell because I wanted to make sure it was gone this Halloween. Here's a Jack and Sally Nightmare Before Christmas plush. Got these at Goodwill for $2.99 a piece. Decided to sell them together for $25 plus shipping. They took about 9 or 10 months to sell. Sold the last of these toilet seats. I got them at Goodwill. 5 of them, brand new. They come from a luxury toilet seat, so I was able to sell them for quite a bit of money. First couple I sold for over $200. Then they were sitting for a year and a half, 2 years. Decided to lower the price on the rest of them to $130 plus shipping, and that's what this one sold for. Paid $20 for them, so made some incredible profit on them all. Got some of these air pistols at a Walmart on clearance for $15 a piece. Seems like I got about 4 of them. I've been selling them over the past year and a half. Got one more left, and I sold this one for $80. Just remember, before you list any sort of BB gun or air pistol, that you follow the rules on eBay before listing it. Here's a pretty cool flip. I got this Death Note L anime figure. Found this at Goodwill. It was, I think, $4.99. I just kind of bought it because I enjoy the show. When I got home and actually looked it up, it was selling for quite a bit. I was able to sell it for $50 plus shipping. Only took about a week and a half to sell. Here are some Magnolite pieces. I got these at Goodwill along with some others, which I've already sold for some good profit, some better pieces. These were $2.99 a piece, and I sold them for $60 plus shipping. They took about a year to sell, but I just lowered the price, and they sold right away. Here's a Coors Light hat. Got this somewhere along the way in my travels. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it. Of course, I never paid too much for these hats, but I ended up selling it for $20 plus shipping. Did take about 8 months to sell. Here's a vintage Carhartt jacket. Got this one along with a couple others and sold it for $140 plus shipping. Only took a day to sell, and I have a couple more that's even better than this one. Here's a pair of Nike shoes. I got these at a rummage sale for $5. Was able to sell them for $40 plus shipping, and they took about a year to sell. Here's a vintage Craftsman Vice. I got this at a garage sale for $10. Sold it for $40 plus shipping. Only took 3 days to sell it. Got this whole house humidifier at a Lowe's for around $40. Sold it for $150, and it took about 6 months to sell. Got a bunch of Disney cars, Disney plane stuff at a rummage sale for $5. This was one of the items. Sold this piece for $40 plus shipping, so that throws me into the profit. Took about a month to sell. Here's a pair of Adidas shoes. Got these at a rummage sale for a few dollars. Sold them for $20 plus shipping. I know this pair was listed a couple years because I just went through and started lowering the price of all the shoes that have been listed for a while. and these were one of them. So got them sold and still made some good profit. Here's this portable crock pot. Got this new at a rummage sale for $1. Sold it for $15 plus shipping. Took about 6 months to sell. Here's a nice shoe flip. Found these New Balance shoes at Goodwill for $5. Was able to sell them for $80 plus shipping. They only took about a week and a half to sell. Some 990s. Pretty desirable style. Here's a Nintendo 3DS XL. Actually got this at a Goodwill for $20 a few years ago. Just crazy that it was in Goodwill on the shelves, because usually they send video game stuff to be sold online. It's been in the death pile for a while, but I listed it recently. I sold it for $208 plus shipping, and it took about 6 months to sell. Picked up this King Cutter food processor. Got this at Goodwill. I don't know if that's actually the Goodwill sticker. I might have paid $8 for it. Seems like I paid like $5. But it's one of those items I saw in my inventory when I was going through and auditing it. I'm like, why hasn't this sold? I checked the shipping and the shipping was off. So it's costing the buyer like $30 or something. So fixed that and it sold in about a day. Got a couple of these all over print kind of Alaska wilderness sweatshirts at a rummage sale for 50 cents a piece. 2 different sizes. Sold the medium for $25 plus shipping. Took less than a month to sell and made good profit for only paying 50 cents. Here is a vintage military bag, I believe from World War II, based on the research I put in the description. I wasn't 100% sure on that though. But made by the Crown Purse Company. Actually got this for free. I bought a motorcycle Harley vest at a garage sale for $10. And I was leaving and the woman was like, do you want this too? And I'm like, sure, I'll take it. Pretty good. Ended up selling it for $40 plus shipping. Took about 4 months to sell it. It's always great when you can get this stuff for free. Just sold this tater twister. This came from a Goodwill. I think it was $5. I just got it last week. Don't even really remember at this point. Might have been $3.99 actually. Anyway, I sold it for $26 plus shipping. Priced it a little lower than the other ones to move it quick, and it sold in less than a week. Here's a Fisher Price wheelies set. Got all these cars in the garage at a garage sale for $6. Sold them for $45 plus shipping, and it took about 5 months to sell it all. Here's a pair of Justin Gypsy boots. Got these at a thrift store for $5. So it was selling for $35 plus shipping. It took about a month to sell. Here's this Ed Sheeran skateboard. Got this at Goodwill. I think I paid $5 for it. It was listed for a couple years, and I was going through my inventory, checking out old inventory, adjusting prices. I noticed this actually was set to priority mail shipping. For something this long, it was like $40, $50 to ship it. So I changed it to UPS, which is what it should have been, and dropped the price $5, and it sold immediately. Which is why I say if you want more sales, always go through your listings and make sure everything is correct, because having the wrong shipping setting can cause you to not get sales. Anyway, I sold it for $25 plus shipping, and it didn't take long to sell after I fix the shipping. Here's a nice sale. I got one of these Simple Human mirrors. These things are like $200. Came from Bed Bath & Beyond. There's the price tag. Over $200 new on Amazon. This one is used. I found it at Goodwill for $5.99. Was able to sell it for $70 plus shipping, and it only took about a week to sell. So I like to keep it real on my channel, and this was a terrible buy. Actually, I'm not even sure if I bought it. It seems like maybe I got it for free. I'm also thinking this might have been an item I got at Salvation Army for $1 when everything went to $1. The reason it's a terrible buy is because it's been listed for 6 or 7 years, and it finally sold for $7.99. You know, I don't buy things to actually list on my store for $7.99. For whatever reason, I decided to put this on there. When I put it on, it wasn't $7.99. I've been lowering it over the years. It's been $7.99 for probably the past year or so, and still no one has bought it until now. Just a Mickey Mouse plush. It's got the tags on there, which is why people in my videos all the time when I walk past like Disney stuff like this, they always point it out in the videos and say, hey, you should have picked up that Mickey. Not necessarily. Just because it's Disney does not mean it sells. Typically when I list something like this, I just let it sit until it actually sells, keep lowering the price. I've already put the time and work into it, and honestly, I'm still making money on this thing. even selling it for $8 plus shipping. It's just something I don't recommend spending time to sell. Here are a couple parts from an American Girl camper. Got the cover and this plastic piece here. I bought one of these and it just didn't have all the pieces and it was damaged, so I decided to part it out. I already made my money back on it, I believe. Sold this piece for $30 and this one for $15. Someone bought both of them. They took about 8 months to sell. I remember getting a bunch of this Canon photo paper at a garage sale for $1/4 a piece and sold a bunch of it. It was a different style than this, like $50–$60 for a lot. This lot here took a while to sell. It wasn't as popular. I guess it's an older style or something. Still was able to sell it for $25 and at $1/4 a piece I have $2 into it. Here's a good Carhartt jacket sale. Got this for $50 local buy and I sold it for $150 plus shipping. It only took about a week to sell. Here's a couple of Timberland boot sales. I got these locally for $20. So I was selling for $50 plus shipping. They only took a couple weeks to sell, so pretty happy about that. Then I got this pair at a Goodwill for $5. Was able to sell these for $40 plus shipping, and these took about a month, maybe a month and a half to sell. Paid $10 for this new Peppa Pig castle. Got it at a garage sale, and it's been listed for about 2 years. It was kind of rare, and I believe I was one of the only people that had it listed, so I was staying firm on my price. It is finally sold for $50 plus shipping. Didn't expect it to sit this long, but you know what? It's fine because I ended up making some great money. Here's the egg and muffin attachment that goes to a West Bend toaster. Got the toaster at a thrift store for $10, but it didn't work right. It was leaking water, which you use to make the steam to cook the stuff. So I just sold these as parts for $20 plus shipping. So I still almost doubled my money, but a little bit disappointing since I was going to sell a toaster for about $60. So here is an incredible flip. This hat came from a garage sale in a box with a bunch of other hats. The whole box was $5, and this hat ended up selling for $380 plus shipping. Took about 8 months to sell. I didn't know how well this hat was going to do because it was rare. I couldn't find any others like it. This is a top of the world vintage Virginia Cavaliers hat. So I put it on there for like $450 and it had 112 watchers. Eventually, I lowered the price to $380 and it sold within the day. That's why I say when you find things that you can't find actual comps on, but you know that they're probably pretty valuable, price them high just to see if they'll sell. Be patient, give it some time. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't sell and you just lower the price. Here's a pair of Georgia boots. Got these at a garage sale for $5. Sold them for $40 plus shipping. Took about 8 months to sell. Here's a couple of these Ox coffee bottles. I got these at Lowe's. Bought a bunch of them a few years ago. Sold through all the ones that were in good condition. These are kind of scratch and dent where they bumped up against each other on the shelves. So sold them for a lower price, $25 a piece. Somebody bought 2 of them. Got a couple of these Alaska sweatshirts at a rummage sale for 50 cents. I've sold one already. This is the second one. Sold it for $25 plus shipping. It took less than a month to sell. These sold a bit faster than I thought they would, but made some good profit for paying 50 cents. I remember getting a couple of these Under Armour shoes at Goodwill. They were the exact same style, different sizes. $5 a piece. Listed them about 2 years ago. One of the pairs sold very quickly. This pair, for whatever reason, I guess just no one needed the size. Took longer to sell, but it has now sold for $35 plus shipping. I was debating about selling these Harley Davidson boots for a bit more, but just decided to sell them for $50 plus shipping. They did sell within a day. Probably could have squeezed another $10, possibly $20 out of them. This is one of those pairs of boots I found at Goodwill when I found all those great boots. Only paid $5 for them. I don't think they realized they were Harley Davidson just because they don't look like Harley Davidson boots exactly. And the logo's just down there. So I sold them for $50 plus shipping, paid $5. It's great profit. I'll take it. Here's a Wolfgang Puck commercial blender. Got this at Goodwill for $10. Sold it for $90 plus shipping, and it took about 3 months to sell. Here's a pair of Sony speakers that I got with a bookshelf unit. Unfortunately, it did not work, so I'm parting it out. Selling the speakers, the remote, and then the broken unit for parts and repair. So I paid $10 for it. I sold the speakers for $25. I guess my money back puts me in the profit, and they took less than a week to sell. Here's a pair of New Balance shoes, new with tags. Got these at a thrift store for $5. Sold them for $60 plus plus shipping. And it only took about a week and a half to sell. Got a bunch of these Milwaukee filters last year at Home Depot. Paid $5 a piece for them. Been selling one here or there. Down to my last two. Sold this one for $15 plus shipping. Sold this pair of Irish setter boots. These came from a thrift store where I only paid $1 for them. The toes had some scuffing, but they cleaned up very nicely. Irish setter boots usually sell pretty good for me. Priced these $40 plus shipping, and they sold in less than a week. Here is a Yankee candle. Got this new at a Goodwill. Paid $2 or $3 for it, not much. Was able to sell it for $20 plus shipping, and it took right around a year to sell. Someone bought 6 more of these telescoping lights. These came from Walmart at around $5 a piece. I sold them for $20 a piece plus shipping, and they only took less than a month to sell after I finally listed them. One thing I've learned is people do not care about the Berenstein Bears. Got this at Salvation Army 2, maybe 3 years ago. It was before it closed. Got it with some other toys. They actually hadn't priced this stuff yet, I remember getting, and the lady there just said, well, I'll just sell it to you all for one price. So not sure exactly what I got into this, not a whole lot, but marked it down because, well, it just wasn't selling. There's no interest. And even then, it still took a long time to sell, and I only sold it for $13 plus shipping. A brand new vintage Fisher-Price toy. Kind of crazy. It's just one of those items that you would think is valuable. I'd probably buy this blind instantly at $5 at a garage sale, right? Just thinking it would be 100% worth it. And I still made some money on it, so it's not really complaining. I'm just kind of shocked that more people aren't interested in the Berenstein Bears. Here's a lot of model airplanes, all vintage. Got a bunch of these at a garage sale. I paid $70 for all of them. I think there was 23. I was going to sell them individually, but a lot of them just aren't moving that well, it seems, on eBay. They'd be sitting for a while. So I decided to just break them into 2 different lots. First lot has sold for $70 plus shipping. So I pretty much made my money back on these. And then the next lot I sell will be all profit. And these sold pretty quick within a day, getting a lot of attention on the other ones. So I definitely underpriced these a little bit. And there's definitely more money if you sell them individually. It's just that some of these just going to take a long time to sell. And I just don't have time to list each one individually, honestly. So give someone a deal, sell this stuff quick. Make some quick money. Here's a pretty good flip. I got these Cabela boots for only a quarter at a rummage sale, and they're in pretty good condition. They got some dirt and stuff on them, but good physical condition nonetheless. A lot of life left in them. Sold for $30 plus shipping, and they took about 2 weeks to sell. Some years ago now, I got these jacuzzi shower heads at Lowe's. I did not pay much for them. It's like $1 or $2. I imagine I got about 30 of them. They have not been good sellers. I say I average selling one or 2 of these a year. I only have them priced $15. So I'm making a little bit of money slowly, but it's fine just because I got them so cheap. They're small and easy to deal with. Here's a shower head. Got this at Home Depot. I remember getting a lot of these. They're on clearance. Well, a lot of shower heads, not this particular style. Used to sell this kind of stuff on Amazon, the Delta brand, but it's since been restricted for me. So I sold it on eBay for $38.99. plus shipping. Probably took about 5 months to sell this one. Here's a baseball glove. Got this at a rummage sale for $1. Sold it for $15 plus shipping. Took about 2 months to sell, and I made profit. Here's a vintage compact mouse. Got this at a rummage sale for $1. It's new. Sold a bit faster than I thought it would. Only took about a month and a half to sell. Sold it for $15 plus shipping. So for paying $1, it's good. Here are some leather Converse shoes. Got these at a garage sale for $3. Was able to sell them for $40 plus shipping. And they took about 3, maybe 4 months to sell. I did well on these Dynex vintage mugs. Got 18 of them at Goodwill. I broke them into lots of 6. Sold the last lot for $25. I have about $12 into all of them, so about $75 in sales for spending $12. Still good profit after fees and everything. Here are a couple pairs of Nike shoes. I got these at a rummage sale. This was one of the pairs I only paid a quarter for. Sold these for $30 plus shipping. Put a good price on them, and they only took about a week and a half to sell. And then I got these, which I got at a garage sale for $3 if I remember correctly, and I sold them for $35 plus shipping. And those took about 3 months to sell. Here's an all-clad stainless steel strainer. Found this at Goodwill. It's only $3. Ended up selling it for $30 plus shipping. Took right around 2 months to sell. So here's just kind of a generic nativity set made in Italy. Found this at Goodwill. It was $2.99, so I picked it up because it was new in box. Some similar ones were selling pretty good. This one did not sell last Christmas, so I went ahead and marked it down pre-Christmas this year, and it's already sold for $15 plus shipping. So still make some profit on it and clear up some other room for other Christmas items. At a thrift store, I picked up a set of this tabletop unlimited cookware. Paid $10 for all of it, parting out each piece. Sold the first piece here for $25 plus shipping. Took less than a week to sell. I'm also pricing it very low because there's a lot of competition for this particular style on eBay. But I'm already in the profit, and once everything sells, it'll be well worth my time. Here's some ink I found at the thrift store for $1. Was able to sell it for $20. Did take a little over a year to sell, but that's always okay for me as long as it eventually sells. Here's something I sold fast. These two vintage Garfield handheld massagers. Got these at a barn sale. They were $2 a piece. I just bought them blind, figured they'd be worth it. Not great sellers, not worth a whole lot. I decided just to sell them both together for $20 plus shipping. That seemed to be the magic price because they only took about 4 days to sell. Here's a couple new in box vintage dolls. This Magic Flower Mary and Princess Wishing Star. Got $10 into these. Got them at Goodwill recently. Boxes have some damage. And honestly, they do not sell very good by themselves. Even new, there's like an average of 20 or 30 listed with like maybe one sold. So to move these, I priced them low, sold them together for $30 plus shipping, and they only took about 3 days to sell, so happy to see them go, happy to make some quick profit. Picked up this Beauty and the Beast snow globe at a garage sale. I paid $0.25 for it, maybe 50 cents, possibly 75 cents, but definitely under $1, and I sold it for $20 plus shipping. That was some great profit coming in. Here's a blade for Hamilton Beach food processor. I've already sold parts enough to get this into the profit, so this is just adding to that. Sold it for $15 and took about 5-6 months to sell. Got this Mizuno baseball glove at a rummage sale for 50 cents. Sold it for $25, and it sold in about 2 weeks. Got this auto compass at a sale for $10. Was able to sell it for $45, and took about a month to sell is all. Pretty good return. Here's a PS2 game, Silent Hill Origins. This only took about 3 days to sell, and I sold it for $125. Unfortunately, it didn't have the manual, so I could have got a bit more if it had the manual. Here's a vintage microphone. Found this in Goodwill for $5. Sold it for $25, and it took about 5 or 6 months to sell. Here's credit card and money from the McDonald's cash register play set. Got the set at a garage sale for $5. Sold all the food. I think it was like $50 I sold it for. The cash register didn't work, so I parted out some of the other stuff. Sold these pieces for $19, so that just adds to the profit. I don't remember much about this. This is a classic Cars Corvette puzzle. 3D puzzle. This is new sealed. I got this years ago. It's been listed for a long time. I think it was unique and I had it priced really high, seeing if I could get someone to buy it. It's just been lowering the price over the years. It's finally sold at $30. I'm guessing I paid anywhere between $2 to $5 for it. Here are some Rocky Paratrooper boots. I believe this is a pair I got at a garage sale for like $5. I got a couple pairs this past year, but I sold them for $55 plus shipping. It looks like they were listed about 5 months. Here's a pair of Sorel Chieftain boots. Got these at a garage sale for $5. Was able to sell them for $50 plus shipping, and they took about 3 months to sell. And as I was shipping these boots, this item sold. This is a science fiction book from the science fiction lot I got at a rummage sale. Got $1 into it, and I sold it for $30. And this one took less than a week to sell. Here's a pair of Coach shoes. I don't remember exactly which pair this is. I got a pair at a rummage sale for $1 and a pair at Goodwill for $5. They do look like they're pretty much unworn. Anyway, I sold them for $45 plus shipping. I got both of them around the same time, so they've been listed for about 8 months. Here's a quick set door lock set. Got this at Home Depot. I think it was about $35. Plan was to sell it on Amazon. It ended up having a little bit more damage on the box than I wanted to deal with sending it to Amazon, so I just sold it on eBay for $60 plus shipping, and it took about a month and a half to sell. Here's an inflatable Christmas fishing Santa. I got this at a garage sale. It is new. Paid $10 for it. Was able to sell it for $50 plus shipping, and it took a couple months to sell. Bought a Toshiba DVD VCR combo, and it did not work. I ended up selling the remote to get my money back. Sold it for $15. Only took about 3 days to sell. Here's a Focus Pro 5000 Honeywell thermostat. Got this at a rummage sale for $5. Was able to sell it for $60 plus shipping, and it took about 4 days to sell. Not bad. Sold a pair of Brooks shoes. Found these in Goodwill for $5. Was able to sell them for $25 plus shipping. It took about 3 or 4 weeks to sell. Bought 6 of these 3-packs of Hainless tagless briefs. These are not vintage, but I got them at Goodwill for a couple dollars a piece, and sold 2 packs for $20. Actually took a very long time to sell. I'm kind of surprised. First pair almost 2 years later. It's fine. They store easily in a tote. I'll wait until they sell. Here's a pair of Interceptor steel-toed boots. Found these at Goodwill and bought them because they were only $5. Now these things don't sell for much, even new, because they're kind of like a Walmart brand. They're sold in their store. Probably only sell for like $30 there, I would imagine. But since they were new, I priced them $25 plus shipping, and it took about 3 weeks for them to sell. Buyer has a note here that says I start my first day at a warehouse job on the 20th. Today's the 18th, so it's going to be close. I don't know if they're going to get to him or not. I hope he's not a crazy that will leave negative feedback for that. Here's a couple of shoe sales. I got these Dr. Comfort shoes. I believe I got these at a Goodwill. Paid $5 for them, and I sold them for $25 plus shipping. Took about 5 months to sell those, and then I got these Nike shoes, which I'm having trouble trying to remember where these came from. I think I got them recently. I wouldn't have paid more than $5 for them, I don't think. Might have come from a rummage sale, so I might have got them for $1. But I sold those for $25 plus shipping as well. I remember the zip and the netting, so they're not that old. Maybe a month to 3 months it took to sell those. I apologize. It's just hard to remember sometimes with so many shoes that I'm buying. Here are these multiplication dominoes. Got these at Goodwill. Really cheap, like $1 or $2. They ended up not being as good as I thought. I don't know if I saw a different listing or what, but they were listed for a couple years, and I just decided to lower the price to $10 plus shipping. Someone ended up buying them, so I did make profit on it. However, I don't think I'll be buying these again if I see them out there. Here's a great pair of Irish setter boots. Got these at a garage sale. Ended up paying $5 is all for them. Sold them for $80 plus shipping. They only took about 3 weeks to sell. I've said this before, but it's been the year of the boots. So many great boot finds and flips. Here's this little globe I got at a garage sale. I paid $5 for it. Recently marked down the price to $25 plus shipping, and it sold. Was listed for about 6 months. So some decent profit. There it is, everybody. Those are my sales. Some of this stuff will sell in 24 hours. Some of it might take 2 years to sell. But if you're consistently listing stuff, you're going to have items selling pretty much every day. Let me know in the comments how your sales are doing. I'm curious to know. Also, don't forget to hit that like button for me. It really helps the video out, and I appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button. But you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, flipping_junk. And this has been Wick. Till next time.